We'll give it 2 seconds, man, because it's still telling me that in the broadcast will be published. It's 60% published now, even though the software is showing as if it's live. So one day I'll get the timing together, guys. But just give me a second, man, to make sure we're live. There we go. It's saying that we're live right now. So what's going on, folks? How's everybody doing? Sorry, I'm not looking at you guys. I'm looking at the computer, but now I'm looking at you, and guess what? I'm not looking at my other camera up there. I'm actually looking at the webcam. So you guys should be seeing me look right at you guys. But what's going on, man? We welcome you guys to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Podcast with myself, Smitty, and AzureEffect, of course, is always here in spirit. Got a couple things to talk about tonight, guys, and bear. What actually, before I even do that, I don't want you guys to have to bear with me. I'll let Smitty talk to you guys while I do something here on the computer. But basically, what we want to talk about tonight, of course, you see it in the title. NFL 2K. That appears to be a new deal, but we will tell you guys what it appears to be. I will kind of read, some pieces of the article there to let you guys know what's happening, and then also me and Smitty will give our thoughts because we're hearing some overly optimistic folks out there, but that's what we're here for, to break it down for y'all. And then also another funny topic that arose earlier today is Smitty was like, we got to talk about this. We're going to talk about developers versus gaming news outlets. In particular, let's say it early in case somebody is listening in so y'all know exactly where we're going. We're going to talk about our buddy Clint Oldenburg. Had some not so favorable words to say about also some folks that we know, good buddies, over at Sports Gamers Online. So we're going to talk about that situation. But anyway, before we do that, Smitty, I'll throw it to you. How was your week? How's everything going? And are you doing the same as I am, watching some NBA action here? Are you happy that the NBA has returned?
Yeah, I'm happy to see that the NBA has returned. I'm doing good, man. That's a good reminder too, because it's been so far out of the loop. With I forgot I watched Shady do a little. He uploaded a little video earlier. Well, it may have been one of his old videos, little mixes he posted on Twitter earlier. So there's that. Shout out to our dude Shady. What's up to Mister Aftermath over there.
Shout out to
Um,
Shady.
but yeah, the Clippers and the Lakers are tonight, 9 o'clock. So yeah, yeah, it's good to see NBA action back. What's even better is I gotta give props once again, man. Adam Silver, man, they are doing an immaculate job with the ebb and flow of everything that's been going on. The COVID, how they've been handling COVID, how they've been handling social justices and speaking out and things like that so far. They've done a really good job, man. I can't front because I mean, look, they just announced it. What was it yesterday? I think they put out that no one has COVID. All the players that are in the bubble are cleared. Like they've tested everybody, all that good stuff. So it's like they've dotted their I's, crossed their T's. Extremely happy, man. Extremely. So they've done a great job, and they did awesome. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, that's like what we was talking about. Shout out to the people over there on First and Frame Rates that are on right now too. You know, this is what we was touching base on something like this the other day when like with baseball, you can't have a full season where you're traveling stadium to stadium to stadium. It's like you kind of have to have it where you got these teams basically playing in like a circuit. Like it's only a few cities that they're going to be traveling to. Like these are going to be the sites for the games, and the traveling method is going to be simple. Like everyone's tested from the buses they take or the planes they take. You're going to have certain pilots, certain this, certain that, and everyone's got to be tested and accounted for before you take any action. And it's because you leave it open when you just going from city to city and everybody can just act openly on their own, like that makes it a lot tougher. So I got to give that props to the NBA for what they're definitely doing. Like they've done a great job. Um, but I mean, outside of that, yeah, looking forward to getting to these topics. And one other thing, if we have time for it, I want to touch on this. I meant to say this to Sim earlier, so this is something off the cuff, but I want to touch base on, and also seeing OG in here. This is something I was thinking about too. Um, I want to touch
OG
base
out here
on,
creeping again, huh?
right, yeah, like
What's
I
up,
want
man?
to, I want us to touch on what we feel would be the best way for 2K21 NBA 2K21 to come out on next gen. Not clearly not this generation, but on next gen. Especially, and the reason why I was thinking about this topic and was because we saw Bowl. I saw, if people didn't see it, you saw Bowl and what he did the other day with the Nuggets. Like, dude is what, 7'5", 7. He's like a 7'5" guy, stroking threes, got a decent dribble. He's blocking shots. Like he's making plays on both sides of the floor. And he stretches the floor out too with his ability to stroke it from deep. And he doesn't have a slow release either.
Pause.
Like he
Pause.
what?
That's a
No,
pause
I ain't no
statement.
pause. No, I ain't no pause. I don't do all that. Y'all know exactly
I'm
what I'm
just
saying.
messing
I
with you,
know I
man.
don't still messing,
I
but
know
it's
that I know
like,
the chat gonna have a good time
yeah,
with that one. He likes
like
to
nah, I ain't
stroke it
doing
from
that.
deep.
Yeah, so he like when you see people say that, yo, I want to be able to do that kind of stuff in 2K, that's fine to create players like that, because you see people create players like that in the game, but they're able to perform unrealistically from the standpoint of they're able to run real fast, they're able to jump real high, they could cross over like Kyrie, they could do, you know what I mean, like they can move like AI, but they're 7+ feet tall. And I want to touch base on it, like what I feel would be helpful to kill the meta aspect of it, if they pull it off. I don't know, but if they do that, like I feel that there's certain things they can do that I believe if anyone can execute it, I believe 2K can, if they're given the resources to do so. So I would like to, if we have time after the main topics to touch on it, I would love to dive into that. And I'll spearhead it, but I mean that's something I wanted to touch base on too.
Yeah, we could definitely do that, man. I mentioned in the chat, it's on now. I had already seen it. That new Nike commercial is crazy, man. That Nike boy, I tell you, they
Oh
can make
no.
some commercials. I give them that. It's basically they doing like a split screen of a lot of situations, like one athlete to the next, how it correlates to them, and like the Black Lives Matter, theme is in there. It's real interesting how they did it, but I don't expect nothing less. I mean, like I said, their commercials are always crazy. Real quick, guys, before we dive into the topics, it's funny, Smitty. I had a similar idea to what you were saying about the NFL. I talked about it Tuesday on Turbo Towel Tuesday, and one of my viewers threw another component in there, and I thought, oh, that might work. So I have been saying that in order for the NFL to do it, long story short, my wife actually asked me about it. She was like, how could the NFL do a bubble situation? And I was like, I don't know, because I, it would have to be a certain amount of sites, but then also it's going to be difficult to have teams, like let's say there's 3 games in one site. It's going to be hard to do that because they, after that the first game, the field is all crazy, and not just the surface, but like the white line. I mean, they would have to extend the time in between games or something like that. So I don't know how you would do it, but also I said that maybe you pick all of the. I was just spitballing, but I said maybe you pick all of the indoor sites. Maybe you pick 5 or 6 indoor sites where, and I don't know why I said that, but because it's not as many of those stadiums, and maybe those would be your rotating bubble sites and cities. And then one of my viewers was like, they could do a situation where you would have like a division camp. So basically, AFC North, right? There'll be a week or 4 weeks where the Steelers are going to play the Ravens, and the Ravens are going to play the Browns, and then the Bengals are going to play the Steelers, and go through your division, and then they circle around. All of the teams do that. Let's say the first 4 weeks, and then they cycle around those different locations, and then maybe near the end of the season you do that again with the division, like because you always play your divisions. I was like, that's kind of interesting. Maybe something like that would work, but it would just come down to how many sites, can you play multiple games on the same field, and it probably could be accomplished in a weekend. Maybe you throw Saturday in there, where some of the games are Saturday, and then maybe the other games are on Sunday to give time for the field. It's But yeah, that would be cool, man. Maybe they have to look at something like that. Because like you said, hats off to Adam Silver and the NBA, man. No positive tests as of today, since the last time they had tested. So that's great. Outside of that, I ain't got nothing else. I do. I do have one more thing to say, and I know this is going to set the chat off, and I don't want this to be a topic, but I'm just going to say it really quick and we'll move on. It's all of this hype about tonight's game. It's all this hype about the Lakers winning a chip. And listen, let me just say this. This is just how I feel. I don't expect everybody to feel the same. LeBron James has been in the league, 20 years? Something like that, 17, something like that. He's 35 years old. Like, why?
17.
17, okay. Why is it so unbelievable, right, to some people when LeBron come out and he ain't the same? I mean, like, in my opinion, Kawhi or some of these other dudes, Giannis and them, should be creeping up past LeBron, or, you know what I'm saying? Or the torch should be starting to be passed. Yes, I still think LeBron is a great player, but it's like, I don't understand why there's so much scrutiny on what he is to do now at 35. All the criticism that he had in his career, deserved. I give all y'all that. For whatever reasons, people had criticism. But it's like, why is it so unbelievable for people to think that the Clippers might actually have the better chance now, even with AD being with LeBron? He's older. If LeBron is not the same guy as he was 5-6 years ago, to me, that's not a natural thing. But it's like, when you the king, I guess, you got to wear that crown until it's knocked off your head. But I don't know. I just find that funny, man, that the man can't even age without still having, like, the same lofty expectations from the fans. It's wild, man. But I don't want to go down that road tonight. Maybe we'll come back to that, maybe after tonight's game. Maybe next week we can kind of talk about how everybody's looking after a week of NBA basketball. We can make that a side topic. Where we want to go, Smitty? Let's start right out with the 2K stuff.
Well, before you do that, the one thing that I will say about the LeBron thing, the reason why LeBron catches that much flack and he's going to be held to those lofty expectations because he hasn't lost a step. That's why, because he truly has not lost a step.
Yeah.
Now, it would have been one thing if he naturally went, if he was in D Wade's boat. You see what I'm saying? If he was at D Wade level now or Carmelo level now, then it'd be a different story. Then they'd be like, all right, Giannis got it. We're looking at Ben Simmons. We're looking at John Morant. We're looking at everybody else. And
Ben
LeBron
Simmons,
is just,
man.
you know what I'm saying? No, he's a great defender. Like, I can't
I love him.
Away. He's a mean player.
Y'all see the hat, but the boy got to learn how to shoot. OG, do me a favor, man. When after y'all get the game done, fly out to Philly and help that boy with his jump shot, man. Can you do that for me, please? God.
But that's the whole thing. Like, what was it? The other year he averaged like 28, like 27 and 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like he put up those numbers and it's like, oh, he had a bad season. I'm like, what? Like, that's phenomenal. Like 15, 16 years into the league.
Yeah,
and
he's crazy.
Those numbers. So it's like and that's the key thing too. He basically is like Jordan, except Jordan had the bad injury his second year that put him out for that entire season. Jordan never had an injury that really sidelined him after his second, that was like his second or third NBA season. He never had a sidelining injury. So it's like LeBron basically, I mean, he's had some ankle injuries and stuff like that sideline him a little, but he's never had the injury that, all of a sudden just his whole progression down to Kobe. If after that Achilles, he was
It was
never the
over.
same.
Yeah, it
That
was
was
over.
it at that point.
He
So
was
that's what
still
I'm
a
saying.
good player, but he won't.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
was not that guy. So and that's what I'm saying. If Kobe never had that Achilles, he still would have been playing dang near that same level all the way through to the end. So that's a big thing to give to
I
LeBron
get
too.
it,
It's like,
man. But it's
yeah, like I know it's crazy, but it's like it's
it's
unheard of to
crazy.
see a guy last that long without injury like that. Because I mean, just think about like if you just think about some of the best players to play, like Vince Carter basically just was retired. Just think if he never had those detrimental injuries that he had,
Yeah,
how long he would have still been able to fly. You see what I'm saying? He may not. Now I'm not saying he would still be an all star, but what I'm saying, he would have been giving you some good production for a mighty long time, considering he was able to hold up this long. So that's where I'm getting at with that point. But that's what I'm saying. It's like he gets that flag because he's producing up here, and it's not a title run. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh man, he had a bad season. I'm like, yo, okay, listen, like I'm not the greatest LeBron lover because of the moves he made, but I'm not gonna sit up here and take away from the skill. Like that dude was a freaking machine. I mean, excuse me, he is a machine of a player. I'm not taking that. I'm never gonna take that away from LeBron. So
yeah, yeah. It's crazy, but yeah, I'll take it. You know what?
yeah,
You know, if to be that good and people still expecting you to win, hey. But
yeah,
yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there as a little
yeah.
sidebar. Let me see who is this. Oh, my mom just text me. Um, let's dive right into the 2K news, man, because I
Yes.
think the other news, uh, game developer versus news outlets. I mean, you know, basically Clint versus SGO. That's gonna be a funny topic to talk about, and we're gonna share our real feelings about that. We're not gonna hold back. We're gonna give our thoughts on, you know, the comment. I'll find the tweet and I'll read it. But anyway, first and foremost, guys, I saw and shout outs to and I don't even know if I'm gonna say his name correctly. Brian Masiki, is that how he says it? Maziki or Mazik?
Oh, Brian Mazik.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
Mazik. Yep.
Always posting, you know, valuable information. And I saw it from him first, and then I went and did some investigation on my own first. I mean, afterwards. But basically, guys, it says 2K secures a second huge NFL related license. What it entails, I'll read you guys the first couple pieces of this article. It says, according to the press release, the new agreement will allow the label to include National Football League, NFL, players in multiple football games in the development that are set to launch starting in calendar year 2021 during the Take Two Interactive's fiscal year of 2022. The partnership will grant 2K the right to feature the names, numbers, images, and likeness of over 2,000 current NFL players. The last little piece I'll read here says the OneTeam facilitated the deal. The deal was handled by OneTeam, a company launched in association with the NFLPA, the MLBPA, and Redbird that is independently capitalized and dedicated to helping athletes maximize the value of their name, image, and likeness rights. Basically, what this is saying, guys, and I'm going to just say this and give my opinion so we don't have to stay here all day and you guys listen to me. I want to throw it to Smitty. Is it something to be excited about? Maybe. Why do I not have a big smile on my face and all of that? I know some of you are asking. Well, read between the lines. Let me paint a picture for you. We hear about 2K doing a deal for a non-simulation title. This was months ago. I mean, right after 2K comes out and says that same day, here comes the NFL to say, whoa, 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 wait, it gets worse. Don't forget, we still have the simulation license. I mean, quick to say it. Like, if the phrase rain on somebody parade ever applies, I mean, EA was swift to be like, hold up. While y'all waving pom-poms, let me remind you. NFL the same day comes out with a statement. I'm like, what? And remember when me and Smitty both said that right here on this show? I was like, that to me spells doom. I'm not excited about whatever 2K is gonna do. No disrespect to 2K, because I would love 2K to be making NFL 2K21 right now, dropping next month along with Madden. I would love nothing more than that. Right. But the fact that everybody was so quick to say what it isn't gave me reason to hold back my excitement. So here's another situation, right? What has changed? We all know that the NFL owners and EA had the meeting and they struck a new deal for 5 years for the exclusive simulation license for NFL products. And I know the jokes are going to come out. They're probably going to come out in the chat. Yeah, but they're not a simulation game. Guys, what we think about the game has nothing to do with what they are referring to when they say simulation style. I would imagine simulation style means 11 on 11 NFL teams that are playing football that is presumably representing football the way we know it. That's a simulation football product. Now we get this news today, and a lot of people was hitting me on Twitter. Oh man, you got to talk about this, man. I can't wait. They about to get Madden out the paint, and no, they're not. All this says to me, honestly, and I'm not, again, y'all know the love I got for 2K products. OG is in here. He's my witness, and if he didn't know, I'm about to say MLB. NBA 2K is my franchise of choice when it comes to my league. That is my baby. So much so to where today I was like, hey, man, how come that start today feature ain't working? And somebody was like, well, it's probably because, ordinarily the NBA would be over by now. I said, oh, okay, you got a point. Because I was thinking I was going to be able to just start a new My League with how it is now. Asking a little too much. But anyway, love 2K. But I'm not going to be excited until I know it's a direct competition piece for Madden. Just because they got names, numbers, images, and likenesses don't mean anything. That sounds like NFL Street. That sounds like NBA Jam. That sounds like NBA Playgrounds. It has names and numbers and semi-likeness, right? Now, our only hope, Smitty, and other people have said this too, but I'll give my 2 cents. What if it's a 7-on-7 type of situation where this is where my imaginary brain goes. It's going to be a game like My Career, right? They're going to focus on you building your player. So it's probably not going to be your ordinary non-simulation style game where it's like I said, a NBA 2K playground. It's probably not going to be like that. I think 2K is going to get creative with the system they built with My Career. First thing you're going to do is create your player. You're going to be able to probably play in the yard. Hint, hint, Madden. You're probably going to be able to play in the yard in 2K's game. They're going to have a My Yard like they have My Park, right? But where they're going to get cute, you're going to be able to play with other people. So imagine it being like a 5-on-5, 7-on-7 or whatever. But the gameplay is where 2K might be able to excel. Because what stands out the most in this article, guys, this is coming directly from, let me read this piece, from David Ismailer, if I'm saying that correctly. He says, we're thrilled to be working with the NFLPA and OneTeam to bring the biggest and best stars in football to the games we're working on. He's the president of 2K. He says, what we want to give fans is an experience that we want to give fans experiences that are authentic, memorable, and fun, and having a roster of real-life sport heroes through the Players Association, and OneTeam is a huge part of delivering that promise. Authentic. That is the word right there that had a lot of people buzzing today. But 2 things can be right at the same time. The player's name, likeness, and all of that could be authentic, even the way the game plays. But it just won't be your traditional 11 on 11 with a full franchise and all of that stuff. So I think where 2K could give us a glimpse as, a glimpse into what they could do with a football product, I think they will. Me personally, I think you can go all out, balls to the wall with gameplay. I mean, it could be the most fluid, crispy looking gameplay ever. It's just not an 11 on 11 situation. What I don't think is going to happen, this is the last thing, Smitty, and I'm coming to you. Some people have said, well, couldn't they just do an 11 on 11 and they just don't call it? No, they're not going to do that. Let me explain to you why. And this is just a guess, but I would like to say an educated guess. Why would the NFL have two games that have their players and their likenesses as far as the names of both the NFL and the players? Why would you have two games like that that's capable of playing 11 on 11? But you're distinguishing that one is non-simulation. Why would you do that? If they was going to allow 2K to have 11 on 11 with NFL Shield, with NFL players, wouldn't it just be a direct, competition to Madden? Wouldn't it just be another simulation product? That's the thing that you got to pay attention to, folks, is the fact that 2K, EA, and the NFL have all said it's a non-simulation game. So there you have it. But I do think that they'll be able to sneak in some bomb gameplay. So, for those of you that might be cool with playing a game like that, I think it'll be a good one. But what's your thoughts on this, Smitty? What you think we looking at, man?
Well, I mean, the addition, them making the addition is basically just adding on top of what they already said they had in the first place. You know what I'm saying? They already had the concept. They already said, and I mean, if you guys recall, I don't have the press release and everything in front of me, but the original press release when 2K was going to be making a game, when they got the rights to the league, the team names, the key thing that I took away, excuse me, was from one of the articles where they basically, you got to read between the lines of what the executives were basically saying. They're like, we have this reputation of delivering authentic and realistic gameplay, and we have this reputation for this kind of product and making a authentic representation of these teams and its players. So it's like, when they say things along that line, but then they say they're making this casual, engaging kind of experience, it kind of makes it where you might get a game that won't necessarily be a sim product, but at the same time, it'll be a product where it may straddle that line. But like I said here to somebody, to Matthias in here, I was saying that, well, it all depends upon what kind of stipulations that EA may have in there in terms of what can and cannot be done by someone else as far as it pertains to the definition of simulation. A lot of people make the reference to all pro football just because it doesn't have the NFL licensing. They don't necessarily follow NFL rules to the letter. So, it may go hand in hand with that. But see, the thing is, that game is a simulation. Like, that game is a simulation product. That's not straddling the fence or nothing like that. That is a all-out simulation product. So we can get a game that'll be like we said a while back. This game can mess around and be like NFL Street. This game can mess around and be like, what's the name of the game? Like that wrestling game that EA, I mean, not that EA, that 2K got coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could be like that. Who knows? They could still have authentic. I'm pretty sure like that game's going to have authentic animations that do replicate those wrestlers in there, regardless of how over the top it'll be. They could do that. It's very possible. So
I don't
don't be
understand.
surprised if something like that is what happens at the end of the day, because they could say the same statements they're saying to entice. Look, at the end of the day, 2K is trying to get you to buy their product no matter what. That's why you got people going buck wild and oh snap, they're making it other. Wait to see what these guys are going to do first. We don't know what they're going to do. We don't know what's going to happen. That's why listen, if that situation with IMV doesn't wake you up anymore,
Oh,
okay?
that was supposed to be a
this
topic, by the way. I forgot
yeah,
all about that.
if that doesn't wake you up, I don't know if the Damon Gross situation didn't wake you up before, this lets you further know. Don't be so desperate to be, oh, but it's 2K said it, so that means it's gonna happen. No, no, listen. Stop. Don't look at NBA 2K21. What? Because I know people are automatically gonna get stars in their eyes as soon as they see that 2K21 next gen. When they start showing gameplay, and when PS5 and Xbox Series X comes out, oh, snap! Just wait till they do the football. Oh, it's a wrap for EA. Calm down, guys. Please calm down. We don't know what it's going to be. Wait for the actual press release to come out when they talk about what this game is going to be, and wait for the core gameplay. Wait till you see trailers. Wait till you see actual gameplay shown before we mess around and go, oh, snap, this is what it's going to be. Calm, please. Because folk gonna set themselves up for failure, then they're gonna be like, man, they played us. No, you played yourself because you set your expectations all the way up here when they should have been down here until you really see what happens. So that's the, I'm telling you. So please curb your expectations. We all know. Listen, Sim and I, we talk about 2K all the time. 2K5 got the best presentation. 2K5 best presentation, best zone defense,
Hands
best
down.
passing controls. Like there's things that we know for a fact they got that are way better than Madden to this day. Okay, but I'm not
Pocket
going to
movement
get.
and APF
Oh my gosh, the
and
pocket.
passing.
Yes,
Come on now.
yes. Come on, man.
Come on now.
See, but we're not getting starry eyed and saying, "Oh, like no." We're still waiting to see what actually comes to fruition first, because that moment of truth. What ended up happening with Damon Grove? That moment of truth happened, right? All the hype, the visuals of this, the pictures of that, all this capability. 2K5 is my inspiration, right? What ended up happening when the moment of truth arrived at E3? Was it E3 2015 or whatever? The truth was unveiled at that point, and people saw what happened. You see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Everything's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. They gave you the ETA. It's gonna come out. So you're going to see what it's gonna be about. I'm excited to see 2K into the fold, but I'm not gonna go completely, buck wild and off of their name until we actually see what they're able to do. Because, like I was saying to my man Matthias in there, is that we don't know what the conditional stipulations may be when it comes to what EA will allow a third party company to make, or somebody, or potential, a competitor, when it comes to a AAA caliber title. We don't know. So I'm not gonna go crazy and all that stuff until now. If they said they can make NFL simulation football titles, now we getting, now it's a whole different ball game now.
Pass me
I'm
my
getting,
pom poms.
you see what I'm saying? Like
That's what
I'm
I be.
truly,
I be Terrell Owens out here.
right. That's a whole different ball game. But until we find out what really is good, what this project's gonna be, curb the expectations a bit. I would love to see them do something amazing, but like us, look, how many people are playing NBA playgrounds? You see what I'm saying? And they got the licensing and all that stuff. You see what I mean? I look, I would love nothing more than to see the 2K football devs be able to make a game, but it technically is not the quote unquote sim game, but it still is delivering that authentic NFL experience. See, they can take now think of what I just said. If you just run over that line I just said, it would be cool to see them, even though it's not simulation, it would be cool to see them give that authentic replication experience. That with that statement alone, they can make an arcade game and still fill that void. You see what I'm saying? Like that would be technical. Well, technically, the New England Patriots are playing against the Arizona Cardinals. This player and this play, you see what I'm saying? Like they can technically make it that way and still give us that NFL blitz or arcade esque appeal, or they could take from an animation or a dance that they do in real life and say, hey, that is what so and so does when he sacks the quarterback. That is what so and so does when he catches the when he gets a first down. That is what this person does when they get, hey, so and so's got their arm sleeve and they got their turf tape and they got the, you see what I'm saying? So they can do that and still say we did the authentic replication. So be careful looking at 2K and over investing in what they're saying because of what the reputation, because of what we've given them the credit for from what they've given us in the past. This is not that situation as of yet. Let's see what they give us first and then go forward. Okay. So, I mean, the only reason why I'm saying it this articulate is because people keep playing themselves. And that's why I feel bad for guys like Spencer Dinwiddie, QJB, you know, and all these guys that invested in IMV. You see what I'm saying? They invested in hype. Oh, college football's coming. No, but we didn't get nothing. You see what I'm saying? And I know we're getting something with 2K, but what I'm saying is people paid IMV for a vision of hope of what they hope they potentially would receive in a sports product. What are people doing right now? Getting hyped up and amped up over what they hope 2K is going to give us in a football product. We don't know. So be calm, be cool, wait and see, and then we go forward from there. But that's all I got, man. Go ahead, Sim.
Y'all see me reacting and laughing at. Well, sometimes I could cuss an NBA player out sometimes. Like, why? Get the ball up, bruh. But anyway, um, it's funny, man. One of you guys said it in the comments. I want to give you your credit. Let me see if I can find it. I ain't gonna waste y'all time trying to find it. But one of y'all said, "Gangstar moment of truth." Yes, and I'm gonna use that analogy. It's a moment of truth, really quick, guys. I already said it, but I want to say it again just so it soaks in. Because I see a lot of people in the comments saying everything from, but it's 2K, but they know they got to come out blazing. But what if they did this? But what if they, just copied APF? I even saw one guy said, well, they did all pro football and that was 11 on 11. Yeah, but that wasn't NFL license. That wasn't NFLPA. This is all I'm trying to say, guys. And I'm trying to put this in the clearest perspective as possible. If you are the NFL, what sense does it make to have two companies making an NFL licensed product with your NFL players, but one of them is simulation and one is not? But the one that's not can make the exact replica of a simulation. Why would you? What's the point of that? And I saw somebody in the comments said money, but no, that's just dumb. That's dumb marketing. Why would you give one company the label and the other company another? And even if you're talking about money, if you talk about licensing, no, the money would still be made if you said, all right, 2K, y'all can make a full-blown licensed simulation product as well for X amount of dollars. Same thing they did with EA. It doesn't make sense, guys, for them to, again, this is their words. And I know everybody is hopeful. I know what all of you guys want. I know what you all are speculating, but you have to listen to the facts. And the funny thing is, Smitty, don't we go through this all the time when we be trying to tell you guys where the problem lies with Madden? Instead of people just listening to the facts, everyone wants to throw out their speculation. These are the facts. We were told by 2K months ago They have a license in place where they'll be able to make NFL games, non-simulation. The first thing they said. NFL confirms it. EA confirms it. Those are the facts. So all I'm saying is, as much as all of us are asking for something, it would make no sense for them to quickly come out and say, wait, it's not the exclusive NFL license. Wait, it's a non-simulation. There's no reason for them to say all of that and separate it like that if they're going to turn around and allow 2K to make an 11-on-11 football game with the NFL Shield and the NFLPA players. How is that different? How would that be different from what's supposed to be the simulation product? So, like I said, I like Kia's idea that he throw out there. Excuse me. He said he'd be happy with a mega baseball, super mega baseball type situation with NFL players, and he said it would be kind of like that if if super mega baseball had the MLB license. Yeah, it could be something like that.
That's a great point.
Great point. Or, like I said, it could be something like, and just referencing Madden. Remember in Long Shot where they had the 7-on-7? And, you couldn't tackle. It was kind of like, a practice situation. But it could be something like that. Like I said earlier in the show, it could be a situation. If I was 2K, this is what I would do. I'll say it one more time and then we can move on. I would build this game off of what we have created with my career. Virtually everything you can do in NBA 2K with your career person, you would be doing the same thing in this game minus an actual league like the NFL, right? But you would be able to create your guy, customize him. I hate to say it, but it's true, guys. VC, that's going to be a part of it.
That's going to be in there.
You'll be able to do that. You'll have these badges that match what the NFL players do, sort of like superstar abilities and all. It's going to be similar to that, right? But you will be able to probably roam around. It'll be an open world situation where you can team up and maybe they'll get real fly with it. Maybe you can be like, look, we're gonna blow this all the way out. We're going to have people, they can play 2-on-2 if they want. Like a lot of us probably played back in the day when it was just 4 of us, 2-on-2 football outside. Or a lot of you guys, if you like me, remember you used to play football, in the neighborhood, you got 6-on-6. One time we actually had 11-on-11, snow games. Maybe they'll get real creative like that, but maybe not 11-on-11. Or as long as it's not in a stadium. So I think what you can rule out official NFL stadiums unless it's not 11-on-11. So maybe it's 7-on-7, 6-on-6 or whatever, and you're playing in Lucas Oil Field, or you're playing at Heinz Field, or you're playing at Ford Field. Maybe, right? But you're not going to have a franchise mode that replicates anything close to even what Madden has now. And I know that's very little. You ain't going to get none of that, guys, because that's the simulation part of it. Anything that's representing football from the NFL, 11-on-11, 53-man roster, career mode, that ain't happening. So I think the best we're going to get, and Smitty said it too, you're going to get some form of competitiveness, whether it's 5-on-5 or whatever, but the gameplay could be as sim as you want it. Because look at my career. When you on the park, it's still the same game.
Yeah.
There's things, of course, everybody said there's cheesy things that happen. We know that. But it's still the same game. The gameplay is the same. In Pro-Am, it's the same. So I think that's what they do. But I could be completely wrong. It might be like Smitty said. It might be like the WWE joint. It might be like, maybe 2K, when they took over the Playgrounds game, they was like, you know what? If we get a chance, let's do this with the NFL. It could be that. So, long story short, stop speculating. Stop throwing your hopes out there when you have no details. We have the Joe Montana situation and the IMV situation that should teach you guys not to do that. Let's just be happy if it happens. Let's undersell our own expectations, and if they surprise us, then we can be like, yo, It ain't no need to sit there trying to be happy, and I'm just not doing it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's all. Y'all ain't got to be like me. I'm just saying, man. It's pointless because I see a lot of the comments, man, and y'all keep going like, oh, what if they do? They're not. The facts are out there. It's clear they're telling us non-simulation, and some people are saying, well, that they mean simulation. They don't mean they own football. But guys, the NFL Shield is involved. Clearly, they're doing a separation. That we know for fact. What that pure separation is going to be, we'll have to wait and see. So that's all I got on that. Moving on, let's talk about the battle royale between our good buddy Clint Oldenburg and SGO. You know, our good buddies over there at Sports Gamers Online. Let me find the tweet, guys, and I'm going to show you exactly what was said for you guys that don't know. Let me find it for y'all. Basically, it was, SGO, and shout outs to the Natural. You know, you guys know who that is. You know, they posted a funny on Twitter, right? So, and I thought it was hilarious. They basically posted like a little meme or GIF or whatever you want to call it, right? It was a guy in like a go-kart, like a pedaling type go-kart, but the shell of it is a Lamborghini, right? So this dude is rolling down the road, but it's a like paper mache type of outside, it's shaped like a Lamborghini, but it's really a pedal
It's a
car.
cardboard car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, SGO said this is EA throwing together the fix Madden franchise patch at the last minute. Ha ha ha. It's cute. It's funny. Right? So Clint writes back. Let me find it. I guess he was tagged in it, and another guy kind of initiated it. And let me say this as a side note. This is one thing I hate about Twitter. I hate the fact that so many people can tag and mention, and it was because somebody else replied to it, and then it got to, and I'm like, see, because this has happened to me numerous times. I'll look and somebody's saying something to me, but I was tagged in a post that 12 other people are in. I'm like, I don't even know what y'all are talking about. But anyway, this is what Clint responded to. He says, and I quote, the guy said to him, I wonder if Sean Grady and Clint Oldenburg ignore this type of stuff. Clint responds, not at all. Love to see which gaming news outlets, he puts news in quotations, which gaming news outlets are truly objective and which are more interested in getting likes with cute memes. Now, let me throw a side note at you guys. We all been in here, right? And I know some ladies watch the show, so no disrespect to you all lovely ladies. But real men, y'all know what it means when you call something cute, right? When another guy, like, if somebody, y'all have heard me say that about some of these people in this community. I was like, oh yeah, that was cute. Y'all know what that means. Y'all know that's like a, you know what I mean? Y'all know what that implies when you call something another guy does towards you as cute. So let me read it again. He says, not at all. Love to see which gaming news outlets are truly objective and which are more interested in getting likes with cute memes. When they ask for interviews and other info, it's really helpful to understand their current position. Very useful. Now, got to give you my reply here. Listen, love Clint. Clint is a good dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I've never had any run-ins with Clint or anything like that. He's not a negative guy. He's very open to feedback. And I think it's only right for me to, share my opinion on that part of it so people understand what he is. Because I know some people say, oh, he's a douchebag. Yeah, that's old terminology, right? But I've seen it. I've seen it on Twitter. That he's an a-hole, da-da-da-da-da. He's not. At least not to me. Now, I got to disagree with this reply, Clint. only because that's one of those. That's a reply that you give when it really stung you, like you felt that one. You know what I'm saying? Like it. That's one of those I'm pissed off replies, or like, yeah, whatever. Because in my opinion, I think an outfit like Sports Gamers Online is very fair. You know how many times have they put up articles about good things in regards to Madden, or just reporting on Madden news in general? I've never felt like them and others. There's a lot of others out there, but I've never felt that them or my man The Natural has ever been like thrown malice at them. Now, he's got at them just like we have with the whole fixed branch. We all have. That to me is being objective. That's the definition of being objective. Is I mean, me and Smitty are clear representatives of that. And especially the way you guys talk about some of my videos. Like anytime I say anything positive about Madden, oh Lord. But to me, that's purely being, unbiased, right in the middle. You say when somebody does good and you say when they do bad. You give them praise when they do something you like. You rip them a new one when they do something you don't. So like I said, I just feel like that reply was a little, felt like it was a personal reply. And let me shoot Clint a little bit of bail here. I'm sure you're frustrated. I'm sure. We know the position that the devs are in, right? I'm sure you're frustrated with that. You're frustrated. I mean, we all men at the end of the day. As much as I tell you I ignore stuff, there was a time when one or two comments would get me to reply. We've all been there. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to criticize him too crazy for just doing something that we all have done, because I see a lot of people do that too on Twitter. A lot of people that I've seen do the same thing when somebody say something about them. They do the same thing Clint did. It's funny. I could read some of the names here in the retweets, but I'm not. But I've seen some of these same people act the same way that they're trying to say that Clint is acting. So at the end of the day, we're all human. However, calm my butt. Come on, Clint. Like, these people that you know personally, that'll be like him being mad at me for saying something when you know what it is with us. And that's how I felt. I just think you can't let it fly like that, man. This ain't personal. That was ha ha ha, joke. That won't even nothing nasty. You know what I'm saying? And also, in light of what's going on in this situation, we all know fixed Madden franchise is a big deal. So you should just brush that off your shoulder like, yeah, I know, they getting at us. That's it. Like, why so personal? And the last thing I'm going to say, Smitty, because I wouldn't be real if I didn't say this. As much as I love Clint, like I said, a real person tells you when they think you were wrong. I expect people to do that to me. Real people should be able to tell me, yo, you my guy and all that, but yo, that was foul. I got to say this to Clint. Some of your comments that I've noticed over the year or two, they come off real corporate. Real corporate. And what I mean is, everything don't need defending. You ain't even have to reply to that. You could have let that go. You see what I'm saying? And some of his replies, I can see why some people, I'm talking about reasonable people. I'm not talking about the idiots. Y'all know the trolls. I'm talking about reasonable people. Some reasonable people have said, yeah, man, you a good guy, but sometimes the way you come off, that's fair. Because comments like this, based off of what it was for, I got to say, yeah, I don't think you had to say all of that. You know what I mean? And those kind of replies come off corporate, like, we got this, we doing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And just to compare it to somebody else, my man OG is in here. I ain't never seen OG do that. Even though their game is good. but I've never seen him go crazy when somebody criticized 2K because you just got to let that one fly off, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, if somebody might clip what I'm saying and tweet, listen, I am not going at Clint. Clint is my guy, but I would be less than real if I didn't speak up and say, nah, but I didn't like that though, bruh. I don't think you should have did that. And he should be able to accept that. You know what I'm saying? He should be able to accept that. So that's kind of how I feel about it, Smitty. I thought it was a little left to, and again, like I said, to chime in, because he don't respond to everything. So to chime in just to respond to that. But again, maybe it's something personal between him and, I don't know. It could be. I don't know the full story, but you got to let that go, man. You got to let that go. I think that was a little out of bounds. And it was just a ha-ha moment. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even nothing serious. But what did you think about it, Smitty? Because I know you wanted to talk about it, man. Forgive me for talking so much on it, but what was your
Oh no,
thoughts?
man. No, man, it's good, man. No, like this is the thing. And natural, that's my guy. I know this is not specifically him that responded, or that put up the post or whatever. Someone, and someone from the the SGO staff had put up the post. Hold on, bear with me one sec. Gotta shut this door real quick. All right, that's good. All right, so the thing is,
Yeah, because
guys.
I think, real quick, Mitty, I think Mike Straw might have been the one who posted it, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I
I mean,
think. I could be wrong there. I could be confusing that with another tweet, but I think I did see some communication between him and Clint earlier in the week, but I don't know. It could have been any of those guys over there.
hmm but I mean, this is the thing, right? Now, thing we got to understand, because at the end of the day, it's going to be taken like, man, like if I were to reply to a bunch of people on Twitter, they think I'm defending Clint or I'm taking up for him. It's not about taking up for him. It's the reality of the situation. Think about it. Okay. So the thing is, you stupid. Oh, gee, you a fool. No, trust it take a lot more than that to break it. But no, man. But no, the thing is that uh Clint came into a situation. I've always compared the way EA is with Madden. I've compared it to the Lions, especially when we were terrible. I mean, I know we're not a great team right now, but we were in a much worse spot before. And I'm talking about 0-16 when we was in that 0-16 territory, right? Well, think of it when Clint came in there. You came in when the situation was already bad. You're not coming in to run the show. You're coming in to fill a role within a situation that you're in a losing situation no matter what. You speak positive about your game. People got 10 million things to say about you. You say anything that even seems like you're taking up for the game, they got all kinds of things to say about you. You see something to be defensive. You say something that seems to be offensive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is no winning for you, no matter what.
Nope.
You could be an A1 employee. You can give all the interviews to the biggest detractors, the most positive supporters. You're still going to catch that heat no matter what. Matter of fact, our dude Antoine, shout out, donates and all that stuff. Shout out to Antoine and everything like that. He got, I mean, he didn't diss Hollywood, but Hollywood basically said, "Quit, what you going at Clint for?" And that's where I'm coming from with it. Why are you going at Clint?
Yeah.
If you're upset with the Detroit, if you're upset with the Detroit Lions, wouldn't you go at the Ford family? Because they're the ones that ultimately run the organization, right? What are you going to get at the coach for? The coach got to work with the hand he's dealt, no matter what. Clint got to work with what he's given, right? That's the reality. Now, this is the other thing too. we can launch, and this was a point I had said this natural earlier, just having a off conversation with him. I said that when it comes to us having something to say, and rightfully so, because the product's been bad for over a decade plus, or the quality of it has not been up to snuff that it really should be. So it's justified because we have all this frustration, the anger, the frustration, the letdowns, all that stuff, right? So it's justified when we have things to say. Now, when we can go at the devs, at the brand, at the product, all that, we can come at them. We're hitting them with bazookas, rocket launchers, nukes, all that. We can go buck wild on them, and it's okay because it's all justified. Let a dev throw a pebble at us. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he spoke. Boy, how dare you say that about me? Man, all I've put out is nothing but quality work. How dare you say that about you? See what I'm saying? That's literally what happened here. There's nothing wrong with what you know how many detractors met Clint at EA Play? And the energy from Twitter and all that and YouTube completely gone when you in front of them. Man, you know what? I just want the game to be better, man. I just want this. I just want that. You know what? If you guys could do a better job with the secondary play, that would be awesome. If you could do a better job with organic, if we could get more organic player movement, that'd be phenomenal. But when you at home,
And they
man, these
talking
dudes
in
don't know how to make no games,
they
man. They
talking in that
suck.
tone too.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
peaceful.
Yeah, very peaceful. They at home. Man, Clint don't know how to do the job. He need to be fired. What's he doing working at EA? How they gonna get? You see what I'm saying? That's literally what happens. You think for a fact that if SGO or anyone from that staff, if he said what he said, you think that he won't interview with them? I guarantee you he'll still interview with them. You know what I'm saying? He'll still do all the stuff that he would do any other point in time. That's not going to change. Him saying what did he say? Let me see. Let me go back to the tweet. He said, "Not at all. Love to see which gaming quote unquote news outlets are truly objective and which are more interested in getting likes with cute memes. When they ask for interviews and other info, it's really helpful to understand their current position." This is what you literally did. SGO showcased a position where you're making fun of them.
It was funny though.
It's funny, yeah. but you chose to go outside of your seriousness reporting legit objective box
Oh, Utah won that thing.
to throw shade at at the EA guys. And I mean that is throwing shade no matter what. It still is. No matter how we look at it and how we choose to play it. So
I wouldn't have responded though. If I was Clint,
that is.
like I agree with Smitty all the way. And what I was saying from Clint's perspective, you don't have to say that. Because this is my point. You know how that's gonna be taken. And you know that, let's say SGO or let's say it was somebody else, they haven't been the beat 'em up, tear down. They have, I just feel like I don't think there was anything wrong in what he said, but I don't think he had to say it. I would have let that fly because it's going to come off. And like, look at all of the people, even though we know better, and that's why I said, like let's say if Clint was my boy, I'd be like, yo, yeah, you probably shouldn't have said that. Like, you just gotta let him know, like, yeah, that was one you could have just let fly because your reply it's gonna come off. Especially, again, using the word cute memes. But it is what it is. I ain't got no problem with Clint, man.
But see, at the same time, no Sim, that's saying like, well, he can't be human because he works at EA.
Yeah, I know.
It's like no, I mean we understand, but I'm just saying like that's like saying he can't be human. You're not allowed. How dare you say something to me? Chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, calm down, everybody. It's okay for him to talk. And see, what I'm saying is, if you got all that energy, if you got all that energy for him, why don't you have that energy at Andrew Wilson? I'm just saying. Why don't you have that energy for the people
look,
that really call the shots?
look
Like,
at your boy real
oh,
quick.
I know, I
I
know.
want I want everybody to pay attention to that comment.
Yeah,
And this dude want to know why I wouldn't. This is it right here.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
it. That's exactly why cats ain't rocking with you.
yeah.
Right
I know.
there. Take
That's
a look
what.
at yourself, bruh.
Yeah, I know. That's
But
just
anyway,
like
carry on.
no, that was just old school cell phone flip. Flip it open, flip it closed. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. So anyways, like no, but no, you know,
Watch he go at me crazy
that's
now in the comments. I'm waiting.
that's what that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's okay for these devs to be human. It's okay for these devs to be, you know, who they are and respond. Now, if Clint came out on some, well, let me tell y'all fools a thing or two about yourselves. You guys don't know, da da da. Like, if he chose to be personally offensive and basically go with the whole "I'm gonna take my ball and go home" attitude, and really go buck wild, then at that point, get him. He earned every bit of the smoke at that point. But for
Yeah.
what he said there was nothing. Like, that's the issue with this whole that's the issue with this whole society. People, it's like it's way too PC. You have to be so PC. Anything you say is, well, let me show you the quality of work that I've done. And it's like, okay, if you're gonna, you know, like what Sim said, it's not necessary for Clint. He didn't have to necessarily respond, but
Ain't
at the
gotta
same
say it.
time, did SGO have to turn around and say, oh, so since you're saying we ain't doing quality work, let me show you these articles right here? It's like, we know who you are. We know who Clint is. We understand what you've done over the years. Clearly, Clint has he's interviewed with you multiple times. Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like you too much weight was put on that to be taken that seriously, and that's what I'm saying. Clint received Clint receives death threats. How many death threats has SGO received in his videos because of what, you know what I'm saying? Because of their videos. Like, how many death threats do they say? How many of your kids have had to have people wish terminal illness on because the way the outcomes happen in a product that you put out? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of stuff that Clint and Rex and these devs that just go across the board. Sports games or
Yeah.
RPGs, all that. They get those kind of threats because of the way the game plays and feels. You don't get that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what he said does not automatically diminish the value of the SGO brand, not by one bit. Like, I definitely did not look at that. Wow. I definitely didn't look at that one bit and take it as a downplay. Like, this is going to hurt a legacy or tarnish the legacy of SGO because of what he did. It's perfectly okay that he said what he said, man. Like, it's no harm, no foul. And if anything, yeah, you've had, like I
And it
said,
might be a
naturals.
personal thing with them too as
It
well.
could be, it
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be. And I mean,
Could
even
be.
if it is, still, look, do I agree? I've had disagreements with stuff Clint has said to me. I've had disagreements with Rex and stuff he said to me. But at the end of the day, I can elaborate on my point and it's over. You know what I'm saying? This is what I meant by what I said, just to make sure there's no confusion. And then after that, you take it for what it is, whether you say something back or not. Like, okay, well, that's it. But when I see you, that's my man, 100 grand. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it's all good. Like, hey,
Even
yo,
though, like me, I disagree. I feel like he shouldn't have said nothing. But
yeah,
that's still
like,
my
see,
dude. Like I ain't going.
yeah. So,
I just had to be real and be like, "Yo, Clint, you shouldn't have said that. You should have just let that go." Like, you know how it's going to be. That's my only point. You know how it's going to be perceived, and I think that was such a
yeah,
minor thing. It did not need a response. You can
yeah,
take a mental note of that and be like, "Oh, okay, I see who really for me and who ain't." But
yeah.
I can't tell somebody how to react. These are just opinions, guys. None of us are saying it's right or wrong. We're just giving our opinions. That's all.
Right. So, but that's all that I pretty much have on it. Both parties is cool. It's all right for you, you know, guys to say stuff to each other or whatever, you know, or make those kind of points. You know, don't take it. You know, it's nothing that needed to be took that seriously. But I just wanted to put that context in there that is whenever let a dev have something to say. Period. Think about it, Sim. If you say something positive about Madden at all, if any
Oh,
inkling of positivity comes out, they throw the hammer at you. They throwing everything. Oh, throw the whole kitchen sink, throw everything at him. Can you believe he said something positive about EA? Like, so just think if Clint says, "Hey, look what so and so said about our game." Here comes a maelstrom of all kinds of issues and flaw videos and everything. And see, once again, this is a situation that Clint walked into to work with.
yeah.
So it's like, I know that he knows this is what he's going to get because he chose to work there. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how much he comes up or elevates or whatever, it's just going to be part of the territory. He said, "What? Go with the."
It's so funny, man.
Stupid, man.
But
My man Dez.
Dez is right. It's hilarious. Even if we go back to what Homeboy said in his comment, like the thing that's so funny to me is like when you have a relationship with somebody, how are people expecting you to approach it? Like we have been very transparent. I'm not even going to waste my time here, but I'm just saying from the history, it was a time when we was screaming, kicking, and yelling. We ain't know nothing about EA, ain't know nothing about how it worked. Okay, us talking and doing what we do got us invited to come down, see what it's about. We do that. Then they come back with us a little bit later. Hey, we got this program that we think you guys would be good for. Okay, shout outs to Justin Dool. All right, let's do that. We started learning the ins and outs of what goes on behind closed doors. Wait a minute. So, you want that in the game too? Oh, you had that idea 5 years ago? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so why you didn't do it because of what? What? They cut it out. Who? Them? What do you mean? So, anything that y'all develop is not really directly coming from you guys? Oh, so that's why Mike Wang left. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. So we learned we got a new perspective. And when you get a new perspective, you behave differently. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And appreciate Dobie Taylor,
Doobie.
man. Doobie. I said Dobie.
Doobie,
Appreciate it,
okay.
Doobie.
Appreciate that.
But it's just that simple, guys. That's just life. Like when you get educated about how certain things are structured, your tone is gonna change because now you have the information.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the weirdest part about social media. Everybody has an opinion, but then when you tell people what's really happening, it might not line up to what they're doing. So now now you this, now you that. That's hilarious to me. But that's all it is, man. I mean, it's just that simple. When you start learning the system about anything, I mean, you can apply this anywhere. Your job or the church that you go to or whatever. Like, I'll give y'all another side story. My home church, let me say this real quick because this might be important because this is how I live my life. So I want people to know that with SimFBallCritic is just the moniker, but the personality is me. This is how I live my life. My home church from where I'm from, right? Thought they couldn't do no wrong. Best church ever, right? Two things happened in that church that turned me completely away from it. One, when I was younger, there was a pastor that, his daughter went to the church. Side note, she was fine too. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody knows that, right? Come to find out, she was a little fast one. She ends up getting pregnant by a guy that goes to school with my brother. And I was 15, maybe? 14, 15, and this guy said during the service that this guy isn't welcome in the church.
Oh.
I was like, whoa. Like, even at 15, I was like, hold up now.
Right.
I don't think you got that power.
Yeah.
Right? Same pastor later Found out that he was having affairs in the church.
Oh
My
no.
man was working for a very respectable company, Philip Morris, but he won't filing taxes for the church income. All
Oh,
kinds of wild
oh
stuff,
man.
right?
Dang.
So I said, all right, okay, maybe it was him. Fast forward to, let's say 10 years or so later. And I think they still do it till this day. They have a separate, and I hope I'm not, offending nobody by what I'm about to say, but this is just how I feel about it. They have a separate prayer at the church for the people who tithe, right? So for those who are tithers, they have a special prayer, and they go to the altar, and it's all it's passionate, and then
Yeah.
afterwards they say, "Okay, everyone
Yeah.
else,
Everybody else. Yeah. Yeah.
huh? That
Yeah.
you separating people right there in the church.
Yeah.
I ain't feeling that.
Seen
So
that multiple times, man.
come on, man, what is that?
Yeah.
So you all know what I did when I learned about what my church was really about? Yeah, all right, I'm good. I'll go
Yeah.
somewhere else. So it's just to show you guys that this is who I am, right? So when y'all thought, man, Sim used to kick the door in, da 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 da. No, this is personality. Once I learned the inner workings of EA, why do y'all think now all y'all hear me say is suits, 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 suits?
Right.
Because I know what it is.
Yeah.
So, that's a little different from what we're talking about here tonight, but I'm just saying, man, it's, you know what I
But
mean?
that's where the energy should be. That's what I was saying before about Clint and his role. It's like folk got the energy to go at him and say, "Oh, well, let me tell you something." But when you're getting at him, that energy and that energy needs to be directed above him. You know what I'm saying? People talking about Clint's body of work, but I'm like, well, what if Clint wasn't able to do a better job with his body of work by the people who is it that has that authority to do so?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's the people above him. It's not him. You could go at him because he's the low hanging fruit and it's easy to get to him. You see what I'm saying? If you want to get to the best fruit possible and you got to climb you got to climb Mount Everest to get to it versus you got to go down the block to get the not the best fruit in the world, but may have some mold on it, but you could cut it off and everything like that. What you gonna do? You going down that? I'll guarantee over 98% of the people are gonna go down the block. They ain't gonna
Yeah.
go all the way up there and do all that stuff because that's the easiest to get to. See what I'm saying? Clint's the easy target. It's easy for him to get to. So that's what I'm saying. That's the part that I laugh at a little bit because I'm like, think about it for a second. Scott OG, I don't know if he's still in here or not. Think about it. NBA Live 14 came out. Scott O'Gallagher was there. Okay? Marinate on that for a minute. Look at how the gameplay was in live. Look at how the animation fidelity was. Now I'm not saying OG was an executive producer or nothing, but just think about that for a minute. Look at 2K14 and then look at 2K15 where he worked on that. I think, and then no, I would say look at 2K15 and 16. The reason why I say those two is number one, his acumen was implemented into that game in 2K15. His acumen was further implemented with the addition of Ace in 2K16. That was his thing.
Two 2K devs that was worked on NBA Live
Yeah.
that left.
That
Let that sink in. And
Just look.
I ain't gonna put OG business out there. Y'all know
Yeah,
I ain't
no,
like
it ain't
that.
even. Yeah.
But just do the math. Do the
Yeah.
facts. Mike Wang left 2K. Remember he told us in the interview he was feeling himself a little bit. Went to EA and said, "Oh, I gotta go back."
Yeah.
OG worked at EA. Where is he now?
And see, 16 was his first full cycle. Like, thank you for the correction there, OG. And see, think about that for a minute. That was his first full cycle. But look at Live 14. And look at how that product was. Scott OG's knowledge of basketball didn't all of a sudden rise when he went to Novato.
Same
You know
day.
what I'm saying?
Same guy.
He had that plethora of knowledge when he was in Tiburon. But you saw how Live 14 came out, and then look at how you see what I'm saying. Play 2K16. Matter of fact, that's a game that you got people saying to this day that's their favorite 2K. That was his first full project.
Hey man.
So
and I dare y'all say something bad about these. Let me tell you something. somebody talk crazy about OG, and we got a problem.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my dude right there.
That's he. You know what? You know something, Sim. I'll say this about OG. I didn't even know OG was him when I first went down there. Sim knew who he was.
He's sneaky, man.
Oh snap, yo, man. Hey, man.
He be off in the corner. He don't say much.
What up, man? He don't say jack. He just came down there. Him with my man DG. And he was just chilling. He was just in there chilling in the cut. You wouldn't have thought nothing. He wasn't boasting, none of that. He was just in the cut. I didn't know that I was like, oh snap, you the dude that be on with Czar doing, the podcast. And okay, I didn't know that was you. But then I learned that that's that guy. And I didn't know at first. Because he don't give that appeal off. He don't wear it all on his sleeve like, oh, you know who I am, don't you? He don't do any of that. But that's the whole thing. That humility, all that knowledge. And that's what I said. He threw me off with the football acumen at first. Because I'm like, this dude's so basketball tight.
Yeah.
He threw me off with the football acumen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is why I'm saying, when you want to blame Clint and act like, man, he an old lineman and he don't know what he doing. No. These dudes know what's up. Scott OG is a perfect catalyst to make the point off of. Look at Live 14 and then look at Live 16. OG was there. He was there. Well, he was there for Live 14. Like, we met him in 2012. So the first time we went down to EA, he came in the room with us. He was there for Live 14. He was there. So he knows what time it is. He didn't just jump in on the tail end of the dev cycle. He was there for it. So that's why I'm saying you can't.
He's not gonna answer no 2K questions, guys.
Please don't do that, guys.
Not here.
That ain't happening. But so when you want to say dude don't know what they talking about and all that, just put that in perspective. OG was there for Live 14. Goes to Novato, and you see what 2K16. I mean, he was probably, I don't know what point he caught 2K15 in, but 2K16 he caught that full cycle. You see what that game gave. So, better once again, it's what you are enabled to do by the people that are running the show above you, in terms of what you can truly produce and not produce. It's not just, well, Clint ain't trying. No, like what Sim just laid out. So just make sure y'all keep, put all of that stuff in perspective when you're talking about these products and everything like that. That's why we shifted our focus. And that's why we've said to you guys for the longest time, and you guys already know that, been rocking with us. We've told y'all it ain't about the dev team. We're not protecting these devs, man. They don't need our protection. They can handle themselves. It's about understanding,
especially
what's going
Canterbury.
Right.
OG know him too.
Yeah.
Scan don't need no protection, bro. I promise.
Nah.
I promise.
Him. Hey, catch him and Lugo on a bad day.
Oh God.
Yeah, that wouldn't be what you want. You know what I'm saying? So,
Anthony Davis,
especially when Lugo was there. But yeah, man. But that's all I got on that, man.
AD out here cooking early. It's crazy. So I gotta be excited about some team because the hat I'm wearing, ain't nothing happening. Ain't nothing happening, man.
They gonna do anything?
I mean, it's the Eastern Conference. They got a chance, but
yeah, they got a good chance.
We're gonna see what's gonna happen with Shake Milton, whatever his name is that he gonna run the point. I don't know, man. I like Ben Simmons a lot. I'm just, you be critical about your own team. I need him to develop just the threat of a shot, just the threat. That boy would be unstoppable. You know what's so funny about 2K? I have to ask myself sometimes. I've even asked people while I was streaming. The OG is in here. He probably could co-sign this.
Shout out to PTA Sports, $5
PTA, what
donation,
up?
real
What up?
quick.
What up?
Shout out to
Appreciate
that.
it.
Appreciate that, man.
It's been quite a few times, right? Well, the applause is going off, so let me wait a second in case it's too loud. AD is cooking, boy. I'm trying to tell y'all. He in the kitchen early. It's times where I'm just blowing by. It's almost unfair when I'm in my league. Then I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. That's Ben Simmons does that.
Yeah.
And here's the interesting thing. I haven't been able to really do that against every team. So it lets me further know that defenses and ratings and things do matter. Because when I get a mismatch at the point, barbecue chicken, bro.
All day.
I'm killing them before I even get to the top of the paint. And I'm going in for it's unfair. I have had games where Ben Simmons got like 13 dunks. But it's other games where I have to adjust to it. But at first I was like, wait a minute, man, is this a little cheesy? Like, why am I able to just blow back? But that's what he do. That's what he do, so. But yeah, man. Yeah, I fully agree with everything Smitty said in reference to Clint. Like I said, guys, y'all know what my position was. I don't think either one of them were in the wrong. If I would just say to Clint, man, you don't have to respond to everything. And it could come off as the wrong way. I could see why people would take it like that. Because like I said, it's the wording. And that could just be them getting at each other. Like I said, it could be a personal thing that Clint has against SGO. Maybe, I don't know. So I don't want to jump out the window and just say, oh, Clint, you was extremely wrong. I just give my opinion on it. He has the right to feel frustrated and feel that way. And like I said, I think Smitty might have stepped away. We're all human. We've all said, I've been the biggest one telling you guys, man, I don't really do Twitter like that no more. I don't really comment like that on my videos. But in the past, there's been that one or two people that I just did it tonight with old boy. Sometimes you see a comment and you be like, you just got to react really quick. It's human. But my advice to him would be, some stuff, just let it rock. Yeah, like that, to me, it was just a ha-ha moment. I don't think he needed to chime in on that. And because he doesn't reply to everything, when you chime in to anything, it's scrutinized a little more because people, they analyze that. Y'all see Twitter. So that was my whole thing about that, man. But I ain't really got nothing else. Let me see what's going on here. Did AD just take the charge? Or was that a blocking foul? What they call? Oh, he cooking on the defense too. Oh man, let me ask y'all, and I'm gonna ask Smitty, and I want to see what you guys say in the chat. How y'all liking the artificial crowd noise and especially with baseball, they got the cutouts. Is that adding anything to the experience? To me, it's not, cause I still can tell the crowd ain't out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think that they're putting the crowd noise in there, probably to cover. Because look, if you're playing basketball on the court and there's no noise out there, this is one of the things people tweeted clips and everything on Twitter when they were playing. I forgot what kind of league it was, but it was basketball that people were playing, and you heard the coach saying, "F that team, get them out of here, get them the F out of here." No. It's like, when you got no crowd noise, you have nothing to drown it out with. People will be able to catch that, and you'll have to be on that edit button. You know what I'm saying, or try to catch that live.
They gotta have a delay or something on it.
Yeah, so it's something you'd have to do in that regard. So I feel that that's why they throw that artificial crowd noise, those extra sounds in, so that way, I mean, I would love it, but at the same time, you're going to think about it. Portland, whenever Portland plays, don't let Melo grab a rebound. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know what he be saying.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He be like, yo, get the F out of here. Like, he say that every time you grab it. So it's like, you're gonna need something to kind of try and drown that out, or you got to make the audio of how you know the audio on the bench. If they have the mic, I don't know, however they got the audio set up, but if they have audio for the bench where it's focused more on the bench and audio for the court, what's going on the court, you would have the sideline, the bench audio turned up a bit more, so you could hear them drown out what's being said on the court, depending upon how it sounds. Like I don't know how they balance it, but that I can see why they would do that. But he said, "No, let them fly." Yeah, hey, they'd be like, it'd be like TV 17.
I mean, I'm still trying to figure out how ESPN was able to let all that fly in the Jordan doc.
Yeah,
Like if you watched it on ESPN, it was uncut. ESPN2 had it cleaned up.
I think what? I think they paid for that.
They had to. Cause
they paid for that. Like
they was
I'm
like them
pretty sure
F-bombs
they paid for
go,
that.
boy.
Yeah, because I mean, think about all the ratings that it got. So that viewership had to mean a whole lot. That's why
we'll take your fine.
Right, exactly.
Well, then right now we're gonna be letting them fly. Just give us a bill. We about to make bread off of this documentary. Yeah.
Right. So I feel they came with that. But yeah, that's it, man. But you know what? The one thing, okay, now I was thinking about it. Well, I want to say about 2K21. Real quick. 2K21 NBA for next gen, not this gen.
That's when we want you, OG. Remember I said when the time is right. That's when we need you to come on.
Yeah.
Whenever we
definitely
talk
need
about
you to
that
come through, because we're gonna talk about that when that sucker drop, or when the time comes. We gotta do that.
Yeah.
But what I feel, and like I said, I'm going off of the whole bowl, what he did. Because oh yeah, that's right. Shout out to Dez on that one. Remember that Playmakers TV show?
Oh yeah.
They did on ESPN back then. That is true. They did do that. But see, that's a good point. That is a real good point. They did. What was I gonna say? Oh no, but that didn't have the NFL at all. That was a fictitious kind of thing they did. They did have celebrities make appearances in there, but they made it fictional.
Look at this. Yo, JaVale, there's some NBA players, and while Smitty is talking, maybe you guys can throw them in the chat. Some players in NBA history have just always looked funny to me when they run up the court. JaVale McGee is definitely one of those guys. Chris Webber used to be like that for me too, man. Even though I love Chris Webber, but every time I see this dude, I just laugh. And again, listen, he's a better basketball player than me. I mean, not just because he's much taller than me, but he's in the NBA. So who am I?
Yeah.
But that dude just make me, every time I see him run up the court, I think Shaq and the Fool. Every time, dog. But that's all. Go ahead, Smitty. Give me some names, y'all, in the chat, of some people y'all feel that way about.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Now this is what I want to say. We know Bobo performed, and he did his thing the other day. He came down the court, stroking shots, all that stuff. Like he was stroking, hitting threes, dribbling, blocking shots, things like that. He was looking like he could do it all out there. And I mean, to a degree, yeah, he can. He can dribble, drive. He could dribble a little bit. He could put the ball on the floor, drive to the hole, take the jump shots, all that stuff. And dudes was saying online, like I seen some guys say, yo, 2K21, I got to be able to make a build just like that. And the problem is that people make these meta builds at the end of the day. They want to make these players that are unrealistic. They want to be able to handle like Kyrie, dribble and handle like Kyrie, right? But then they want to be able to shoot like Steph. You know what I mean? And they want to be able to do everything that's very, very unrealistic when it comes to what should be able to happen on the basketball court. Now, what I feel that needs to happen in NBA 2K next gen And I said, I believe 2K could pull it off because they systematically have showcased it in little instances here and there. And it's held back because of their their animation system is still dictated by a two-man interactivity, like canned outcome or deal. And I feel that they can go complete. They can make it where people are biomechanically regulated. So what I mean by that is you can give a player, how do you want your player to dribble? Do you want to make a 7-5? You want to make Bobo? Go ahead. But I want to give him Steph Curry's dribbles. Okay, you can, but he's going to be regulated to his biomechanical, ability.
Right.
He's not 6'3" and 160, 170 or 200 pounds, whatever Steph's weight is, but he's not that height and size. You made this dude 7'5" and you want him to be able to dribble like that. So what I'm saying is
What?
make the physical matter, make the dribble height matter based upon, make the ball its own tangible entity, like how we see in FIFA and PES. Make the ball its own tangible entity, but also make the dribble height matter. Because it's a big difference when you got a guy that's 7'5", 7'6", dribbling a basketball trying to cross somebody over versus a guy that's 6 foot. His center of gravity is going to be a whole lot lower than a guy that's 7'5". And you know what I'm saying? So, what do
Yo,
you say?
look at 60 South, 65 South comment.
Oh my God.
Oh
This
my
dude.
God, 6'5", you crazy.
He's stupid,
Oh my God. My office hours are 9 to 5.
man.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Oh wow, man.
He
Red
said
from
Red
Friday.
from Friday, but anytime I hear
Golly.
Red, I think about the dude from Fire Heartbeats.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but he said Red. He said Red from Friday, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know exactly what he talking about when he go running back when he get crying because he got his chain snatched in the bike.
Yeah, the way he
Yeah, really goofy.
But yeah, if you make a game where the physical, the organic, the biomechanical limitations actually come into effect, nobody will be able to make the ultimate build. That'll be a meta. And what I mean by that is, look, LeBron has limitations, even though it looks as if he has no limits. But if you put him in a one-on-one setting, that doesn't mean that he can't ever be stopped. And I'm saying that in regards to people that play
Right.
the parks and stuff like that. Like he can be stopped because he didn't run all over Kobe, and Kobe weighed less than him. You see what I'm saying? He didn't shut Kobe down either. And he's heavier than Kobe, as tall as Kobe, right? But he's supposed to be this, this unstoppable force. How come you couldn't stop guys like him? He didn't shut down Allen Iverson. You see what I'm saying?
Nobody shut down my boy AI.
Right. You know what I mean? He didn't shut down Carmelo. So it's like he still was getting scored on. He still got scored on. He still got stopped, things like that. So there are limitations. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you look at a game like FIFA and PES, and I mainly look at FIFA because I feel they do a good job with the physicality. You guys have heard me in the past say the Lionel Messi example. I've played in career mode where I have a player that's a 60, he may be a 61, 62 overall and have no specialties, no traits, none of that to his name. But then you got Messi, who's got all the traits. And he's got the high, 90, 95, 90, he's like 99 overall dang near because he's got every skill. Like he's great at nearly everything. But he does have limitations. He has physical limitations. So if I have a player that if I have a player that's bigger than him, not necessarily stronger than him, but if I have a player that's bigger than him and I have the momentum driving into him, I can knock him off the ball path and take it away from him potentially. Why? Because of my momentum and size I have over him. I may not be as heavy, but I can lean on him more. I got more leverage than he does. You see what I'm saying? He'll have a lower center of gravity than I would if I have a taller player and I'm heavier. But at the same time, I can lean on him. So I can impede his progress and knock the ball away from him, regardless of his 95 overall plus skill ratings, regardless of all the skill traits that he has along, to his name. I could do all of that. That's my point. So if I can do all of that, think of it in the sense of 2K where, oh, but I got all these badges, so I shouldn't be able to. No, no, no. That is true. You got all those badges, but the real world physicality should always matter.
Always.
The basketball being its own tangible entity should always matter. Like that should matter in its own right. If I knock the ball away from you, man, but I got Messi, right? Thinking of soccer again. But
Right.
I got Messi. Okay, that's fine. You got Messi, but if my player's leg tangibly gets in front of yours and knocks the ball away, that's it. Oh, but you're rated a 60 and I'm a 95, but I
Don't matter.
tangibly got you.
Right.
So that should matter over all the stuff you got. You do something like that, yes, people will complain, no question. Just like people whining and complaining about the Madden stuff they did, right? You've seen how the notes they put out and everything about, on a Tuesday and everything like that they talked about. You, you see, I know people complaining about the speed, but it's good where it is basically. And it's like, man, oh, all right. Like, no, that's you have to have a realistic baseline with ability, with real world ability. You
Right.
can't just say, I should be able to take away 2, 3 routes. I should be able to do no, 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 no. You don't see players in the NFL taking 2, 3 routes away. You see them try to play in between two and make a decision to commit to one. Sometimes it pays off. Sometimes they got to take that. They got to hold the L. You see what I'm saying? But that's what you do, and that kind of having that kind of circumstance happen in these sports games. That's only gonna excuse me. That only lends toward the authenticity of the product upon release. Like, excuse me. I'll say this real quick and give it to Sim. Excuse me. We mentioned it here on the show before, but shout out to our brother Shakedown
Yeah.
because I spoke to him on the phone.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? I spoke to Shake. I say about a month ago, and this is a little bit after we spoke about that. That virtual reality, that not virtual reality, but that simulation betting game or whatever that we talked about
Oh yeah, yeah,
before, where they
yeah.
had the football stuff. And he said the same thing. He was like, "Yo," he's like, "Smitty, I don't know if you know about it." Like, this was after we did the show on it already and all that. But it was like, "Yo, you see that joint? Yo, if 2K play like that, that would be so tight right there. That's real basketball right there." I'm like, exactly. Look at the player movement. All that stuff looked spot on, realistic, authentic, the whole nine. And that's what I'm saying. You make the game as true to basketball form as you can with real biomechanical, real world circumstantial play with the decisions you make, the dribbling moves you choose to pull off, all that stuff. You do that, you win. There is no meta. I would love to see going forward in the next gen. I would love to see a meta. Meta didn't. We never heard of no meta. There was no such thing as meta about 10 years
Oh,
ago.
that kills
There
me,
was
man.
no such thing as meta. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of that. Should be absolutely obliterated at this point. It shouldn't be nothing about no meta. It should just be basketball. It should just be football, soccer, hockey, tennis, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just make the game organic, put the real world, real life
Oh,
limitations in there. You do that,
okay, Kuzma.
people can create whatever game they want. I mean, not whatever game, but you can create whatever kind of player type you want. But you have to understand that there are going to be limits because you made that player regardless of what badges, what traits, what your overall rating may be. Make leverage a factor. If you bring leverage into the game, okay, yeah, Yao Ming is taller than Ben Wallace, but at the same time, they still had a physical chess match. Hey, what's his name?
Ben Wallace
Yao
strong
Ming.
boy.
Yeah, y'all. That's what I was about to say. Y'all took a hook like in real life. Y'all had Ben posted up straight up. This dude 7'6". He had Ben posted up. Ben was able to block his hook shot. Because why? Because he muscled him. He held his ground and he was able to hold him with his lower center of gravity. And when he went up for that hook, Ben was able to move over, go up, and knock it out. You see what I'm saying? He had to do a little bit more work, but that physicality came into the picture there. You see what I'm saying? It didn't matter what kind of badge or what kind of whatever, I mean, I know badges don't matter in the real world, but I'm just saying, when you bring those biomechanical limitations into the fold, that's when you get to see that real chess match happen. You want to be a pickpocket on the
Ooh.
court? Oh, I'm gonna make this real short player that's 5'6" and can do this, that, and the third. Okay, that's cool. Make that super duper short player, but you also are gonna be a victim to the post up game. Go up against big guards. If guys make 6'3", 6'5" guards and stuff like that, you're gonna have problems every time you play because of those limitations you have when it comes to height, because of their size in general, regardless of weight. You see what I mean? So you do stuff like that, you just open a whole entire different world of of your, like, when it comes to your basketball game. And I would love to see that kind of element brought into the football game too. So I don't know if Sim, if you wanted to say anything about that or not, but I just wanted to touch on that.
Nah, you said it, man. Ooh. I'm gonna tell y'all. Listen, did I tell y'all AD was cooking? I don't know if I told y'all that. AD getting off out there. Um, you said it all, man. I have nothing to add to that. I fully agree. As far as I think what Smitty articulated there is what you always hear me say, what you hear him say in terms of physics, weight, momentum, leverage, inertia, all of these things mattering at all times in both sports. Most of us here tonight, we're primarily football and we play basketball. It's like those are the two sports that we really talk about the most. I play FIFA, but I don't know soccer. I play that for fun. I play NHL, but I don't know hockey. I play it for fun. Basketball and football, even MLB. I bought MLB 19. I haven't gotten 20 yet, but I don't know baseball like that. We primarily talk about football and basketball, and I think both things apply. What Smitty said is what we would like to see in Madden also. All of these things should matter. Like, make Julio Jones, what he's capable of doing is based on the biomechanics. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know we're asking for a lot. I know we are. It's a video game, but I really do think there's ways to accomplish that. I think, again, if you go all the way back to what Backbreaker showed us, if you didn't like anything else, I think it opened everybody's eyes to, whoa, look at those physics. And look at how the physics is dictating everything. So by now, you would think that the technology is there to produce more of what we're asking for. So yeah, and I have confidence in 2K. I think 2K would probably be the game that we'll see do that first. Because I can strongly say I think 2K is probably sitting at the top of the totem pole in terms of the game that you would say is, shooting for simulation. I know some people would challenge that because I'm sure there's some people that say that, well, look, 2K ain't sim because of this, that, and that. No game is going to be perfect, but what I'm saying is 2K has done a great job with trying to replicate basketball in animation, in strategy, the ace system. I mean, all of those things. The deep franchise experience. And 2K has always been about the details. It still gets me now when I'm playing a game. I was going to post it, man. Speaking of that, real quick, 2K and OG, if you're still in here. I don't know if you guys have control over this, but when you record a video from the console, sometimes I'm not always hooked up to the Elgato, right? Why do they cut the sound out of the game? I need it. I had this wonderful game I wanted to show you guys, man, from my league. It was just going to be like the last 8 minutes. I mean, back and forth action, and it was intense. And it still gets me, the point I was going to make, it still gets me when it's like 30 seconds left in the game and I got an open shot and the guys jump off of the bench. Like, those little things, man, the details. But I didn't put it on the channel because I really literally wanted to comment maybe 2 minutes and be like, yo, y'all just watch this. And I wanted everybody to hear the sound of the arena and everything, but I can't because I recorded it off the PS4 and there's no sound. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, I think 2K would be the game that would push that envelope because they've always been about details.
Yep.
Even when they talked about the momentum, the momentum system and all that. So yeah, I'm with Smitty there. Looking at how that 2K21 trailer looked for next level. I mean, because it's been reported that's supposed to be actual gameplay that was captured in replay. Wow. That's all I can say. Built from the ground up. So maybe to include some of this stuff Smitty's talking about. I mean, again,
maybe.
I give 2K that benefit of the doubt because they, for the most part, have shown they're the reason why we opened up with that topic tonight. The 2K being able to make a football game. That's the reason. See what I'm saying? So that's why I give them that benefit of the doubt, regardless of whatever flaws the games has, because all games have flaws.
Right.
But yeah, man. Oh, and by the way, Black Matt Marvel, man, next week. Y'all got to keep us in check because I completely forgot. Remember last week? Yeah, the calls and stuff. What I really want to do, man, I would love for it to be this way. And kind of borrowing from what Shop and Mad Sci used to do back in, when they was doing Game Changer Radio. I would like for our topics to be an hour and the calls for an hour. Let's shoot for that because I think that's going to make it a very entertaining, interactive show. Let's shoot for that. So like I said, hold me and Smitty accountable. Be like, all right, guys, let's get to the second hour, open up the calls. Because I completely forgot about that tonight.
Yeah.
We went a little long as far as the topics, but let's try to shoot for that next week. So anybody who wants to call in, even homeboy, if you still in here listening.
Oh, yo mama, yeah.
Call.
You got something to say, call in.
Let's call in front of everybody. It's live. Nobody can run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we invite anybody to call in. Whether you oppose us or not, like we ain't gonna do no sucker stuff. We not gonna mute you and we let you get your thing off. And then we'll say what we gotta say. So that's it. That's all we got for tonight. It's 10:03. I'm gonna let you guys go because I'm gonna get back to watching this basketball.
Yeah, no.
Man, these games have been good so far, man. Whoa. Lakers, what they up 12? Interesting. But yeah, guys, that's all we got. We thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate the donations. We appreciate everybody's support, spending time with us every Thursday. Be safe, man. If you don't do anything else, please be safe. Definitely, I'll say that to guys like, OG. I know OG out in California, I believe still. Sad news I got to report. Remember I told you guys early on that my wife's cousin had it, and then her fiance had it, and her aunt didn't. They all lived in the same house. Now she tells me today, another set of cousins, her and her daughter. And her daughter is like, she's a teenager, I believe. Her older cousin, they both got it. I think they're on the tail end of it, so they're recovering, but they live out in L.A. So it's just, I say all of this just to say, man, regardless of what you believe about the coronavirus, whether you think it's a hoax, a conspiracy, whatever, it's really happening. Regardless of how it happened, it's real, So I don't want you to be, listen, Smitty's mom had it. That's how real it is.
Yeah.
He told y'all that, right? So I don't want any of you guys to catch it if you don't have to. We don't want to catch it ourselves. Just be responsible, man. Don't take long to throw a little mask on when you go to the store, whatever you're going. Just be responsible. That's all I got on that. Be safe, be responsible, and Smitty, last words you want to say to the good folks before we roll out.
Shoot. I'll say, well, like always, you guys, I'm sorry. I got occupied for a sec. No, thank you guys for coming through, man. Like always, you guys We always appreciate you guys coming through, hanging out with us. And yes, that'll be a bomb format for next week. And my man had a question about talking about the ball carrier archetypes, Trillionaire. If you could be on next week, please keep that question and come through, and we could definitely talk about stuff like that. Like call in, and definitely you guys, please call in, because that second hour that's gonna be key. Like we're gonna push that call. I'm gonna make sure to push it like the day before,
Yeah,
leading up to, and the day of when we get on, pushing, hey guys, call in, call in, call in. Because we're gonna do that second hour. We're gonna, hopefully Blog Talk holds up and we'll be
yeah,
on and we'll talk, like we'll let you guys call in and then we'll run it off of just straight calling, and let's have that, let's have them discussions, man. Let's hear what you guys got to say, because you know that's what some of our honestly our best shows, we say that all the time, our best shows are from when you guys call in.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome, man. So yeah, by all means, bring that. And like what Sim said, please be safe. Don't let the media drive you when it comes to what's going on out here and downplaying what's happening out here. People be 50-50 with it. Be 100. Keep your mask on. Put your mask on. Hey, I got breathable, whatchamacallits, that breathable mesh, face, not face mask, but face covering things, like,
oh yeah,
so that way it's not hot. You know what I mean? Because I know people get hot wearing those can masks and all that stuff. Like, no, I have it so it's not hot, so I could breathe through it just fine and everything else, and it still does the job, necessary. So like just rock one of those, get one of those off of Amazon or whatever, or go to Home Depot if you got one nearby. They got them for like $20. But it does the quality work for you. I mean, it's washable. You can keep on wearing it, and it like I said, it serves the duty. But just be safe, man. Keep your family safe. All that, you know, preserve, self-preservation. Just be careful out there, man.
yeah, man.
Okay, don't
That's
take
it.
it lightly. But that's it, man. That's all we got.
All right, guys.
All right.
Y'all take it easy. Have a good night. And like Russell Simmons would say, thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night. Wait, maybe I shouldn't reference Russell Simmons because he's been under some, you know, some allegations here lately. But
Oh man.
my bad. Y'all old school folks know where I got that from. So, all right, man. We see y'all later. Peace.
All right.